Just like our houses are made up of bricks, bodies of all living organisms are made up of cells, which is why it is said that cells are the building blocks or units of all plants and animals. Many cells come together to form a tissue, and many tissues come together to form an organ. All different organs work together as a system to form an organism. Cells are the structural and functional unit of life because all living organisms are made up of cells and all functions taking place inside the organisms are performed by cells. Cells were discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665 while examining a thin slice of cork. Cork is nothing but dead plant cell. Cork is actually obtained from the bark of a tree and its section was made up of compartments resembling a honeycomb-like structure. Leeuwenhoek discovered free-living cells in pond water under his own microscope and called them animalcules. Purkinje coined the term protoplasm, which includes the living content of the cell. The concept of cell theory was given by Schleiden and Schwann. In 1838, Schleiden proposed that all plants are made up of cells. After 1 year in 1839, Schwann independently proposed the hypothesis that all plants and animals are composed of cells and products of cells. In 1855, Virchow gave the phrase omnis cellula e cellula, which means that cells arise from pre-existing cells. Each cell divides to produce cells of its own kind, and all organisms begin or start their life as a single cell. Let's take a look on the parameters on the basis of which cells are characterized. Depending on the number of cells, organisms can either be unicellular or multicellular. Unicellular organisms are made up of one cell and this single cell can perform all essential activities. Multicellular organisms, on the other hand, are made up of a large number of cells and different cells perform different functions. Multicellular organisms are made up of millions of cells and each cell can perform only a limited number of activities. The complexity involved in the structure of multicellular organisms does not allow each and every cell to carry out all functions of the body. This is called division of labor. Moving forward to the classification of cells, cells can also be divided on the basis of their shape. To carry out different functions, cells have different shapes in different organisms. Shapes can change, such as in amoeba or white blood cells, or shapes can be fixed, such as oval, cylindrical, polygonal, or cuboidal. Shape of cell depends on the type of function they perform. Size of cell is so small that it cannot be seen with naked eye and have to be seen with a microscope only. The smallest cells are mycoplasma, the longest cells are the nerve cells, and the largest cells are the ostrich eggs. All cells have three things in common no matter what type of cell they are. These are cell membrane, which is also called plasma membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm. Cell membrane is the outermost covering of all cells and separates the contents of the cell from external environment. It is thin, living, and selectively permeable, which means that it controls the entry and exit of substances. It only allows specific substances to pass through it. It is made up of phospholipids and proteins. Substances can move across the cell membrane by diffusion. Diffusion is the movement of particles of substances in liquid or gas form from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. You can see that gaseous molecules in this diagram have moved from a high concentration region to a low concentration region inside the cell through the plasma membrane. Another process through which water molecules move across the plasma membrane is called osmosis. Osmosis is affected by the amount of substance dissolved in water. Osmosis can be defined as movement of water molecules from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. Let's understand what can happen when plasma membrane separates two aqueous solutions. Aqueous solutions on opposite sides of semi-permeable membrane are called osmotic solutions and the membrane only allows movement of water or solvent molecules. When a plant or animal cell is placed in salt or sugar solution in water, water movement depends on the concentration of solute in the outside solution. If the outside medium of cell has same water concentration as the cell, There is no net movement of water across the membrane. The amount of water going into the cell is the same amount going out. This solution is isotonic solution. If the solution outside the cell has high water concentration than the cell, or if the solution outside the cell is dilute, the cell gains more water and swells up. Such an inflated cell may burst. This solution is called hypotonic solution. If the outside medium has a low concentration than the cell, or if the medium is concentrated, cell loses more water and shrinks. This cell is termed as plasmolyzed. This solution is called hypertonic solution. The second functional region present in all cells is the nucleus. Nucleus stores the genetic material of cell. It is surrounded by two nuclear membranes called nuclear envelope. It separates the nucleus from cytoplasm, just like plasma membrane separates cell from external environment. This envelope contains pores called nuclear pores through which exchange takes place. Nucleolus is a dense body present inside the nucleus which is only visible in non-dividing cells. Nucleolus makes ribosomes. Fluid enclosed by nuclear membrane inside the nucleus is called nucleoplasm. Nucleus of a cell contains chromosomes, which are responsible for holding information of inheritance of features from parents to children. Chromosomes are made up of DNA, and functional parts of DNA are called genes. Next is cytoplasm, which is the fluid content between plasma membrane and nuclear membrane. It is important to understand the difference between terms like cytoplasm, protoplasm, and cytosol. Protoplasm includes all the components of cell including cytoplasm and nucleus. A number of cell organelles are present in the cytoplasm of cell and cytosol is present between the cell organelles. So cytoplasm is referred to as cytosol with cell organelles. Cytoplasm protects the organelles from damage caused due to collision with other cells. Complex cells need a lot of chemical activities to support these complicated structures and functions. So cells perform functions with the help of cell organelles. Cell organelles have different shapes for different functions. There are three types of organelles. First are non-membranous organelles such as ribosomes and centrosomes. Second are double membrane bound organelles such as endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, also known as Golgi complex, mitochondria, plastids, and vacuoles. Third are single membrane bound organelles such as lysosomes. Some of these occur in both plant and animal cells. A plant cell is a little different from an animal cell as it also has some additional features present. We will understand the structure, similarities and differences in plant and animal cells if we understand which organelles are present in which cell. Centrosomes are present near the nucleus in animal cells only to help in cell division. Ribosomes are granular spherical particles formed of RNA and proteins. Remember we mentioned that ribosomes are made by the nucleolus present inside the nucleus. Now when ribosomes leave the nucleus, they have an important job to synthesize or make proteins. Ribosomes may occur freely in the cytoplasm or may be attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is a network of fluid-filled membranes called cisternae. One end of endoplasmic reticulum is connected to the outer membrane of the nucleus. There are two types of endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum has ribosomes attached to it for protein synthesis, and smooth endoplasmic reticulum does not have ribosomes attached to it. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum helps in lipid secretion. Some of these proteins and lipids help in making cell membrane, and this process is called biogenesis. The endoplasmic reticulum is basically a membrane enclosed pathway for transport of materials like proteins synthesized by ribosomes. These materials exit endoplasmic reticulum in enclosed vesicles. The Golgi body then receives these vesicles. Golgi body consists of fluid-filled membrane-bound vesicles called cisterns. Materials received by Golgi body are modified into forms that are useful to the cell. For example, simple sugars are modified to complex sugars. Golgi body is responsible for storage, modification, and packaging of products in vesicles. These vesicles are then transported to other target locations. Mitochondria are the powerhouses of any cell, which means that they produce ATP molecules for cellular activities. Each mitochondrion is double membraned. The outer membrane is porous and inner membrane has folds called cristae, which contains enzymes for release of ATP. Mitochondria make their own proteins and DNA. Plastids are the largest organelles present in plant cells only. Plastids have their own DNA, which means that like mitochondria, they have the power to divide. On the basis of pigment color in plastids, they are classified into chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. Chloroplasts are green plastids present in green parts of the plant. Chloroplasts contain a green pigment called chlorophyll, which is needed for making food through photosynthesis. Therefore, chloroplasts are called the kitchen of the cell. Chloroplasts are made up of two unit membranes. Granum are the stacks of membrane-bound sacs called thylakoids. Thylakoids contain chlorophyll. Stroma is the ground substance in which granum is embedded. Chromoplasts are present in petals and fruits and contains yellow, orange and red pigments. Leucoplasts are present in rice grains or maize grains. These are colorless pigments and stores protein and lipids. Vacuoles are fluid-filled storage sacs. Vacuoles of plant cells occupy 50 to 90% of the cell and are called sap vacuoles because they are filled with cell sap. If vacuoles are present in animal cell, they are very small and store water, glycogen and proteins. Vacuoles mainly help in storage of toxic substances and excess water in the cell. Lysosomes have digestive enzymes which help to keep cell clean by digesting and breaking down harmful substances like bacteria or virus. Lysosomes burst when cell gets damaged, releasing enzymes which digest its own cell. So lysosomes are called suicidal bags. Lysosomes are present in animal cells. In plant cells, lysosomes are very uncommon and the presence of cell wall in plant cells is enough to provide protection against stress. Cell wall is non-living and freely permeable, which means that it allows free movement of substances in and out of the cell. It is present outside the plasma membrane. It is made up of cellulose and helps the plant cell by providing shape, strength and rigidity. Cell wall is secreted by the cell itself for protection of plasma membrane. When plant cell loses water, cell contents contract away from the cell wall. This is called plasmolysis. On the other hand, when cell swells, it builds pressure against cell wall. The cell wall exerts equal pressure on the cell, which enables the cell to tolerate high pressure conditions. You will now be able to understand the structure, similarities and differences between animal and plant cells. All organisms can be classified as non-cellular and cellular organisms. Non-cellular organisms have no cell in their body, whereas cellular organisms can either be unicellular or multicellular. Cellular organisms are further divided into prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotic cells are primitive and incomplete cells. They do not have a nuclear membrane, whereas eukaryotic cells are advanced and complete. This classification is mainly based on the presence or absence of a well-defined nucleus. Prokaryotes do not have a nuclear membrane, so their genetic material is in contact with the cytoplasm. This undefined nuclear region is called nucleoid. In prokaryotes, all membrane-bound organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, mitochondria or lysosomes are absent and only ribosomes are present. Eukaryotes, on the other hand, have a well-defined nucleus and so the genetic material is not in direct contact with the cytoplasm. All organelles are present in eukaryotes. Prokaryotes are always unicellular, whereas eukaryotes can be unicellular or multicellular. And we know that plants and animals are multicellular.